As this course progresses, we'll be creating multiple templates. Keep in mind that the index template is just the default template WordPress uses when there isn't a suitable template to be found. Our theme should be consistent, and so therefore our header and footer and sidebar should look the same. Our templates can get pretty big if we just copy and paste our header and footers. It would also be a pain to have to edit each template every time we made a change to the header. Luckily, WordPress provides a solution by providing a couple of functions for including different sections for our template. Let's create the required files first. First, we have to create a file called header.php inside our themes folder. It's very important that you give the file this name, as this is the name WordPress will search for when trying to include your header. From the index template, let's cut everything from the doc tag to the closing header tags and then paste it into the header file. Next, let's create a footer.php file. Just like before, we are forced to name it this by WordPress. From the index template, cut everything from the bottom of the file to the opening tag of the footer comment. Then paste it into the footer file like so. Alright, now all we have to do is include our files. At the very top of the index template, call the function getHeader. This function will look for a file called header.php and include it. At the very bottom of the file, call the function getFooter. Just like the header function, this function will look for a file called footer.php. I'm going to format this template so it's easier to read. Let's refresh the page and see if everything's working properly. If you see no errors, that means you did everything right. Let's go over how these functions work. These two functions will look for files named header.php and footer.php within the themes directory, respectively. I want you to be aware we're not completely forced to name our files header.php and footer.php. Let's say we had a header called header-v2.php, and we wanted to use this header for post templates specifically. Well, all you have to do is pass in the name v2, and WordPress will then search for a file called header-v2.php. Don't worry about prepending the word header or appending the extension .php. WordPress takes care of this for you. This way, you can actually have various headers. These same rules apply to the getFooter function. For this course, we'll only have one header and footer, so we don't need to pass in anything to these functions. Alright, we're almost done here. I want to do one thing, which is to allow any plugins or WordPress to add classes to the body tag. By doing this, you can take advantage knowing which features are active on the site with your CSS. Let's explore how this is done. The first step is to open up the header template and inside the body tag, call the function bodyClass. This function will add an attribute called class and then output some classes. I have some classes I'd like added, which are the no transition and stretched classes. Let's refresh the page and let's use the developer tools to see what's going on. Right-click and select Inspect Anywhere on the page. What you should be seeing is the Elements tab. This tab allows you to view the HTML of the current page in real time, meaning if any changes were made inside this template while the user is browsing, then the HTML will update accordingly and vice versa. If you take a look at the body class, you'll notice that a few classes have been added that weren't there before. WordPress automatically loads these classes for you so you can apply appropriate CSS. For example, the class admin bar should appear if you are logged in. However, if I log out, then this class will disappear. After logging out, you will see the admin bar class disappear. This is really great as you can apply certain stylings to the page depending on the classes added to the body. I'm going to log back in. As I stated from the beginning, I did not make any changes to my template to prepare it for WordPress, so even though these classes are loaded, there aren't any styles in my files that take advantage of these classes. I'm going to remove the body class function for a moment. Refresh the page and you'll notice our site is a little different from before. If you take a look at the body tag, you'll notice some JavaScript code added some classes, but most of the original classes are gone. To prove this further, you can right-click and select View Page Source, and you'll notice the body tag has no classes applied. I'm going to re-add the body tag function because of its usefulness. Let's refresh the page one more time, and all these CSS errors we had before should be gone. I'm going to add a link to this function in the resource section of this lecture. We can now begin working on the sidebar.